All right, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show on this beautiful day before Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Eve. I wanted to do this episode on rivalry week. Um, Rivalries in college football means a lot to me, and I mean a lot. I grew up probably the first 14 years of my life. My my parents would always go to the Turkey Day Classic in Montgomery, Alabama, Crampton Bowl, Alabama State versus Tuskegee. With my dad being an alumni of Tuskegee and my mom being an alumni of Alabama State, so it was ingrained in my psyche when it comes to college football rivalries. Um, just seeing the players, you know, Alabama State in there, black and gold, and Tuskegee in there, red and white, the bands playing, it meant a lot. I was there for the football. Everybody else was there to wear the fur coats and sashay around the stadium, trying to be seen. But it's all good. It's what it's all about. I just wanted to mention that before I got started. There are many, many, many rivalries in college football, and that's one of the biggest ones for me. With being tied to that game for 14 years, and I think I may have went one or two more times. Um, but in the state of Alabama, the biggest rivalry is the Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn. This is for bragging rights, but more importantly, for Alabama, this is for a spot in the playoffs. So they're gonna have to concentrate. Alabama has looked good this year, and then they just look terrible. And I watched a little bit of that game against Eastern Illinois, and oh my God, they look horrible, man. I know they won 56-0, but the execution wasn't right for me. So I don't think they're a national championship team. But in this rivalry game, you going down to Jordan Hare in Auburn, Alabama? My Jesus Christ. Um, Want to wish those guys luck, but regardless of Auburn's score, this is a Super Bowl for them. Another big rivalry in the SEC is Texas versus Texas A&M. Now, I haven't seen a Texas A&M game in years. With the conference realignment and all that crap, and it's been years. It's been years since I've seen a Texas A&M game. It used to be one of my probably top 10 favorite rivalries of all time. Um, of course, being from Alabama, the Iron Bowl is my number one. Um, but it was when Texas and Texas A&M was in the, I don't want to say the Southwest Conference. You had Nebraska, Oklahoma, and them guys in the Big Eight. Those rivalries meant way more to me then. Than the confusion and garbage we got in today's world. But it's going to be a good game because Texas A&M is undefeated. Texas got 3 losses. Texas can ruin Texas A&M's. Well, not really ruin it. They can ruin a perfect season, but they can't ruin the playoff. They'll be in the playoffs regardless. Texas with a win may sneak in. Never know. I'm not doing numbers as far as what the quarterback is thrown for and the running backs is run for. Blah blah blah. You can get that anywhere. I'm just giving you my take and what the rivalries mean to me. And one of the big old rivalries in the Southeastern Conference is Tennessee and Vandy. And this year it means something. And I want to say probably for the first time in my life, 53 years, that this game has meant something. Tennessee with a win could sneak in. Vanderbilt with a win could get in. That's a possibility. So That is a big game when it comes to rivalry week. And I can't say that word, rivalry. Oklahoma LSU. I don't think that's a rivalry game. At least, I mean, like I said, we're in a new era, but it ain't an old school rivalry game. And it only means something to Oklahoma. Oklahoma can solidify a spot in the playoff with this game. LSU, they're looking for a coach, and they flying Lane Kiffin out there to kiss his butt. So this game is not going to be important to me. I'm not. I don't care about it, but it is important in the college atmosphere. So that's why I put it on the list. And just like the Tennessee Vandy game, the Georgia Tech game is gonna mean something. Listen. Prior to Kirby Smart, Georgia didn't win a national championship for years. Kirby Smart's been there however many years, and I think they won 2 or 3. Georgia Tech, in my day, in my era, and I think my freshman year of college, I want to say, they shared a national championship with Colorado. I want to say 1990. 89 football season, 90, and they played on New Year's Day 1990. I want to say it may have been a year later. I can't remember. I just know that they shared the national championship with Colorado. That's been, what, 35 years ago. But it's going to mean something this year. So I am going to pay attention to that game. Georgia's already in the playoff. I think Georgia Tech is sitting with 3 losses, and they've dropped off a little bit, but they were awesome early this year. Awesome. At one point, I think there was number 1 in the ACC. It was them in Virginia, I want to say. But it's going to mean something just being on the field playing in this game. Back in my day, but you had a lot of mid-season rivalry games too, like Texas, Oklahoma. They would have these beautiful trophies. You would have I think it's Arkansas, LSU, the boot, and then you have some team like Iowa or Wisconsin. Somebody play for the Oaken Bucket. Oh my God! As a kid, and even now as a grown man, that stuff is beautiful. That's pageantry, and that's what football is all about: pageantry. And in the direction that we're going in now, you're taking the pageantry out of it. You're killing it, man, killing it. But what can we do? As fans of the sport, as former players of the sport, we can sit here, bitch, moan, complain, and our voices still won't be heard because they know we're going to watch. They know we're going to be interested, and they know we're going to spend that money. I've been out of college football for 2 years, and I told you when they started the NIL garbage, the transfer portal garbage, I was done, and I meant it. Now, what got me back in is my nephew. He transferred from Auburn to JSU, so I said, you know what, I'm going to support my nephew. And I said, you know what, all these young men, they need to be supported. I know what's going on is wrong and it's bad, but these young men still play the game because they love it. And they got their mamas and daddies and uncles and pulpit pimp pastors, trying to go to this school, go to that school, go get that bag. And at 18, 19 years old, dude, you're going to go get that bag. You want the gold chains and the rims and the cars and this. So that's where I was when I was young. It's depressing. But getting back into college football this year, yeah. We got to support these young boys, man. We got to support these kids. I just wish it was a better system. Arkansas, Missouri. I think Arkansas, Missouri is one of them that I can't remember, but I think it's something special between Arkansas and Missouri. I can't remember, but remember when Missouri came out of the Big 8 conference, and I want to say Arkansas was in the Southwest Conference, and I think they had a tie there, a bond there some kind of way, and Arkansas has been in the SEC, and Missouri's been in the SEC for a minute now, so I don't know if that if that reconnected by being in the SEC or not, but I do know it's a special game. Arkansas is trash, straight trash. Um, Missouri's a good team. I think they got a lot of guys hurt, but they're still a good team, and I expect Missouri to win this game. But the rivalry, this is what it's all about—the rivalry. If my memory serves me correctly, it was an old school Southwest Conference, a Big Eight conference rivalry. I want to say. Um, that's about it for the rivalry games that actually mean something to me. Um, but you do have some more big rivalries. Now, when it comes to the Big Ten, Michigan and Notre Dame is probably outside of the SEC, outside of state Alabama, my the most memorable rivalry outside of all that because the fight songs. And plus, both of them had good programs. But the fight songs, oh my God. You had the announcer for ABC. I can't think of his name. He passed away, but he would cover all those games, And well, I'll take that back. If it was on ABC, now if it was on NBC, I don't know who covered it, but the Michigan Notre Dame game outside the SEC, outside the state of Alabama, probably the biggest memorable rivalry for me. And I think this week Michigan is playing Ohio State. That's a big rivalry, and this is actually going to mean something. Ohio State's number one team in the country. They're going to be there regardless of win or loss. But I think a lot of people are saying that Michigan has Ohio State's number, like Oklahoma has Alabama's number. But we'll see. We'll see. That's a game that's full of pageantry, and it's going to be, if you get a chance, watch it. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl. Outside of the Iron Bowl, it's probably the most recognizable bowl to me. Well, regular season bowl that has bowl tied into the name. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably watched one Egg Bowl, two Egg Bowls in my whole life. This is not an attractive game for me. But this year, Lane Kiffin is he going? Is he staying? Ole Miss has one loss on the season. Mississippi State actually has a good team. They done lost 5 or 6 games, but they still got a good team, and they can spoil a lot of things for Ole Miss this week. And I think that's going to be either Thursday or Friday. I don't want to say Friday. I'm going to pay attention. I'm not going to watch it, but I am going to pay attention. Those are you got rivalries all over college football this week. I want to say Virginia Tech. It used to have Washington State. I don't know if they still play. UCLA, USC. Don't know if they still play. Arizona State. Don't know if they still play because they're all over the place. You got these West Coast teams and East Coast conferences. I can't get down with that. But I will say this. Now, you got some teams on the West Coast where it used to be the Pac-12 that are some good teams. The ACC, on the other hand, trash. Straight trash. Outside of Virginia, Miami, and maybe one more, Georgia Tech, that is a trash conference. Now, Pitt looked good, and Pitt looked bad. Syracuse, trash. Rutgers, well, I think they're in the Big Ten, though. Oh, I can't keep up with it anymore. I'd put it like this. ACC is trash. You got some good athletes and good programs here and there, but for the most of all, it's trash. Regardless of if they're trash or not, I wish all these guys the best. This is the final regular season game, and you either gonna get prepared for bowls or the playoff. I wish these guys well. My first year getting back into football in 2 years, I have enjoyed it. I absolutely love it. But we have to some way somehow. I don't know if it's going to come through political legislation. The NCAA is trash. We can't count on the NCAA. We need another governing body. And when is it going to happen? I don't know. Coach JB says college football is dead. I do agree with him. Now, we're going to watch the games. We're going to support these players and all this. But as we know it, and I mean us who have played it, us who have watched it over the years, it's dead. And just like a certain political party, it's dead. I hope college football is not like this particular political party that's going to rise from the dead and end up being something worse. I hope college football can rise from the dead and be something that 100 years from now, my great-great-grandchildren can enjoy, and your great-great-grandchildren can enjoy. But that's it. As always, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you be blessed. Happy Thanksgiving. And be safe out there. Be safe. This is going to be the most traveled day in a long, long time. So y'all be careful. God bless you and I love you. Peace.